Hi. Welcome
to India.
Thank you very much.
India has been had a great history of making shoes, but eventually the quality of shoes has gone down. So when we started this brand, we had started with an aim for made in India and made for India. So eventually India was our primary market, but then slowly we got some attention from some international clients. We explored into more premium leathers.
Pradeep, every good pair of boots starts with the leather. Walk me through your leather.
Okay, so we have locally sourced leather, and then the other one is like we source from internationally recognized tanneries like Horveen, Mariam, and then CF Steel.
So my Dixon boots here, these ones are in the sub $200 category.
Exactly.
And then you've got this sort of premium category from really, really famous tanneries.
Exactly.
From all over the world, the ones that boot guys get really, really excited about.
We have Chrome XL, these are like 2.2 to 2.4 mm thick.
And you've got natural horse butt from Mariam.
Exactly.
You've got the waxy commander, right, from CF Stead as well.
Exactly.
When I tell people I'm coming to India to talk about boots, they ask, what's the situation with cows and leather in India? Like in some states it's illegal to kill a cow. I know some Indian brands that don't use any cow leather, they use all buffalo leather. Is this like illegal leather?
No, it's not illegal because since we have to sustain the leather industry here in India, government has just banned the slaughter because of the sentimental values attached to particular species of cow. The cow slaughter is legal in some states of northeast India. It might sound funny, but yes, that's the fact about it.
Legally, it can be a bit dicey dealing with cow slaughter. So that happens in other countries, and then it comes to India, and here the tanning process is finished, and no one's killed a cow in India.
No.
Okay. All right, so the leather arrives. It comes over here to Daronville. What's he doing here?
So basically, he's cutting the leather as per the components of the boot design that's placed here.
सबसे ज़्यादा इसमें ध्यान रखना चाहिए इसमें कोई कट ना हो, कोई चीज़ कोई लग नहीं आए और बिल्कुल क्लीन होना चाहिए सारा चीज़.
For the toe cap, you need something that's particularly strong part of the hide. The toe break here, like that's gonna experience a lot more flexion than the toe cap, so he's got to click for that. How long has Daronville been working for you?
So he's been working for me like since past six years.
I have craftsmen with 30 years experience, someone who is working from 50 years.
The closing is when everything gets stitched together, and then to get ready to go on to the last later on.
Yep. All the guys working here are like basically upper makers.
Yeah, it's harder than it looks. Different leathers are more difficult to work with in this stage.
So for thicker leathers, you'd have to have like longer stitch locks.
So also it's worth noting, when your boots are lined, this whole process takes way longer.
Exactly.
And needs way more glue. So what are these gentlemen doing?
This particular station we have dedicated to heel making and cork filling.
There are some guys out there I know that don't like it when they see sheet cork on their boots. They prefer it when it's been kind of troweled on with a mixture of glue.
So this is the traditional way where the cork was all natural in form of sheet, and this doesn't has any synthetic mix onto it. So this molds better, and this is like this provides additional cushion onto it.
So what's unusual about the way that your heels are made here?
With bigger factories, these heel might come in from from another vendor who makes it for them, and they are like stuck onto the sole. We are like all in-house processes, so we make the heels ourselves.
I did want to make sure that we were sitting here because these gentlemen, they also sit as they work. But I understand that these guys, they prefer to be sitting without a chair so that they can like grasp the shoes with their feet. Is that right?
Yes. Like sitting this way, they feel more comfortable in grabbing the shoe with their feet.
Yeah, I believe that is faster this way actually. Jack, you're not denying them a chair. They just like to sit like this.
No, it's not like that. We aren't denying them a chair or a stool. It's their preference, their way of working. They are more comfortable working that way.
आपका नाम क्या है?
रवि.
Ravi? All right, cool. Why did you choose shoemaking as a career to go into?
पैसे भी और सब कुछ जैसे हमारा मतलब मन किया तो कर लिया.
I don't want to assume that everyone watching this has any idea what any of these words mean. So, to start off, when the uppers get stitched together, they get pulled over a foot-shaped mold, which is called a last. And most places they do lasting by machines. Tell me why you guys do the lasting by hand.
Two reasons. That first is like since this is a small setup with small scale, so having machines is not feasible for us. And the second reason would be is that it gives more control over the shoe. So machine has its like pre-programmed function where it would grab onto the leather and stretch it. Either like irrespective the upper conforms to the shape of the last or not. Whereas with hand lasting, the craftsman can actually feel the leather, conforming to the shape of the last.
Because different parts of the leather have different amounts of elasticity and thickness and so on.
It's more of an like art, like the lasting process.
Hand lasting versus machine lasting. The average person is going to say, one, does it look better? Two, does it fit better?
Hand lasted shoe would definitely feel good and fit better because it would take up the shape of the last very accurately, unlike which is not guaranteed in a machine lasted shoe.
They're not just doing the hand lasting, they're also doing hand welting. Now, for those who don't know, your typical resoleable boots, before the 1860s, it was hand welted. In the 1860s, Charles Goodyear invented the Goodyear welt machine, and that cut down the time it takes to welt a boot by a significant margin, right? Like if there's a machine called a Goodyear welt that does it more quickly, why do you do hand welting instead?
We wanted to make boots the traditional way, and we wanted to make use of whatever skill was available to us.
When you are putting a stitch here, you know exactly where you are putting, exactly after how much distance you are putting. But when you put this shoe inside the machine, you don't see where the machine is putting a stitch.
We will always be offering hand welted boots because it has always been such important to offer jobs to our highly skilled laborers and give back to the community in some form or the other. Like how people would see a handmade sculpture or a machine made sculpture, right? So people would definitely feel that a handmade sculpture has more human touch to it. People love wearing something that's harder to make and that has been made by having a lot of skill involved in making it.
नमस्कार आप कैसे हो?
बहुत अच्छे हैं.
आप क्या नाम क्या है?
मेरा नाम मान सिंह है.
How long have you been making shoes like this?
50 साल के लिए. 50 साल.
50 years.
मैंने अपने गुरुजी से सीखा था जी. सबके काम में ये हैंडमेड का जूता जो बनाते हैं ना, वो अच्छा लगता है.
This looks like it was made by a machine. It's like so consistent. I wouldn't say perfection, but there's this level of skill to be done by hand. It's very rare for it to be done by hand at all, and to be this consistent still, it's just crazy. So it gets hand welted, then the outsole gets stitched on, then it goes over there to get trimmed so the sole better fits the shape of the actual boot itself, and then it just gets finished. Can you describe like what goes on at this table and what the finishing process at Blkbrd looks like?
Clean the uppers, and then we use specialized waxes and polishes for each and every different type of leather.
This is the Dixon boot?
This is the Dixon boot in our brown pull-up leather.
And this is where the leather gets a bunch of extra conditioning and oils and buffing and shining. The edges of the sole get sanded and smoothed down, and also where the edges of the sole and the stacked leather heel get conditioned and shined and polished as well. You're not giving anyone a chance to say, yeah, they use cordovan, but it's not Horween cordovan, or yeah, they use Horween cordovan, but they don't use Sophia on it. Like, no, you actually, you're ticking all the boxes.
Yeah, so this is like the upper hand that we have in owning a workshop. Is that like this Dixon boots are made on another last, but whereas our client wanted a broader toe box, so we made it on our Triumph last. So these are both Dixon boots, but on different lasts.
I don't know if you want to say this loudly in this video, but if someone writes to you and just says, hey, I really like this boot, but with 2 midsoles, or hey, I like this boot, but I want a wider toe box. Mm-hmm. Like you just kind of accommodate people.
Yes, exactly. That's what that's how we can compete with all the top brands. So So that's one of the reason why people might want to come to us and get their boots customized as per their liking.
You're really down to say this publicly. You're gonna get everyone else you to do the most annoying little customizations on all their boots.
Yes, we can. We are pretty much able to accommodate everything.
All right, so there you have it. That's the official tagline now of Blkbrd Shoemaker, the most annoyable shoe brand out there. Any little annoying request that you have that you might feel too self-conscious to ask for, Blkbrd's happy to do it, and it's going to be hand welted. And if you want, they can do it with Halloween shell cordovan, CF said waxy commander, and all the higher end leathers as well.
We are trying to make the quality shoes and make it available to India domestically. So that is why our firm is registered in India, and we sell and confidently say us about us like made in India and handcrafted in India.
So I'm really glad to have you in our workshop, and for you being able to represent our brand to your audience, right? I would also like to thank my co-founder, whose motto is like sky is the limit. So we aren't stopping until we aren't stopping forever.
World domination.
Yes.
Right on.